2 days in a row I'm turning the camera on. I'm gonna give this daily upload thing a try. We'll see. But okay, so tomorrow's the tune day. This is not gonna be anything special today or tonight. This video is gonna be super short. Take it to get some gas, change the oil. You know what? Just follow along. Just follow along. I'm always telling you what I'm doing. Still cold, so it's not surging yet, but let's go get some gas. And not the first test drive, but the second drive. I mean, even cruising is really rich, but it drives normal. It's just so rich. Whatever. Let's head on over to the gas station. Well, probably once we come to the stop sign, yeah, she's gonna start surging. Oh, there it is. But it's manageable. Okay, gas is in the car. Next thing is get the dolly ready because it's been sitting since the last event. And the tires are looking a little low. So we're going to wheel this guy out in the front and then get back to the car. So while the car starts draining its oil and doing its whole thing, I'm just going to kind of elaborate on some tips. If you guys are going to the dyno for the first time, what you should bring, what you should look out for, mostly like how you should be prepared for it. So obviously the first thing that we did when we started this was we got gas in the car. One thing that would would really slow down a dyno session and that tuners basically don't want to deal with is you bringing a car with not enough gas. Not enough gas can cause lean issues and just slow down the process. So make sure when you're going to get your car tuned, bring it with a full tank. There's no weight savings when you're getting a car tuned. Have as much fuel as you can so that way you can minimize any kind of issues you're going to have. Because I remember being at a dyno tune once when I was waiting to get my car tuned, and then the guy before me ran out of gas. So then we had to wait for him to go find gas, and that was just a whole mess. Another tip, just like what we're doing now as well, go with some fresh oil. I'm changing the oil for a couple of reasons, mostly because the car is going to go get beat tomorrow and the oil's been sitting for so long. Now, I change my oil usually after every event. It's kind of overkill, but the car's 9,000 RPMs. They're so high, it's really beating the motor up that you're just breaking down the oil. So after every event, I like to do an oil change. But if you're going to the dyno, make sure you change oil, because if you haven't done it in a while, when you let oil sit for too long, more than let's say it's a really extended oil change, the additives will actually break down and they won't lubricate and give you as much protection as you'd like on all your internals. So oil change before a dyno tune is always a good thing to do, just to make sure that all the abuse and all your parts that they're gonna receive, they're gonna be fine. Bring a spare set of plugs. So I have brand new plugs that I'm gonna be bringing. I'm not gonna change them right now. I'm gonna change them maybe about 1 or 2 pulls after my tuner starts to get everything situated, because the plugs that are in there right now, they're fuel soaked and they're fouled out, and if I put new plugs in it right now, they're gonna get fouled out again as soon as I start it up and bring it to the tune or to the dyno. So bring some spare plugs just in case you need them. Again, you're prepared. You have whatever you need and you're ready to go. Bring some tools with you. I always bring tools. I never expect the shop I go to is gonna have tools to work on my car. It sounds kind of stupid, but I never assume. I bring my own stuff that I know I need. For Hondas, it's 10mm, 12mm, spark plug sockets, any kind of spare parts that you want. Bring it. A jumper pack is sometimes good. I like to bring like a portable one just in case. Most of the times when you're getting it tuned, they will have it on a battery tender, because voltage is a big thing in tuning. I do know that. So you want to have a good charged battery. Honestly, just give your car like a good look over before you go. The last thing you want to do is go to the dyno and you have a coolant hose burst or something very, very simple, very silly to do that you could have prevented, just give your car a full once over, make sure it's ready to go. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Along with the oil change, I'm just double checking everything, all the clamps are where they need to be, everything is tight. It just makes your tuner's life a lot easier, and it makes your life a lot easier because you can go get it tuned and then bring it back and you're ready to rip it. So it should be time for me to put the drain plug back in and put the car back down, and I'm going to kind of get some stuff. Oh, I'll show you the plugs I'm using. So I'm using a Heat Rage 9 NGK Iridiums. These are what the car has in it already. This is what my tuner likes to use. They're colder plugs, and it just, you know, it'll be less less prone to detonating because they're not as hot. And I also have this oil pressure gauge right here. I'll have to install this whenever I get a chance. This I picked up at a Tri-States open house thing where they let you walk in the back. I just kind of went with Carter to go. I just went to go look. I've always wanted an oil pressure gauge. I actually should really be running one to monitor my oil pressure. That's like one of the big key factors when watching your vitals of the car. You want good oil pressure. You want to make sure your air fuel ratio is good. If it's boosted, you watch your boost. But I got a good deal on that, so that'll be in an upcoming video. I'm going to install that oil pressure gauge. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it, but something to look forward to other than this whole fiasco we've been trying to figure out. Also, I just thought of this real quick. Oil. How about I show you, what oil do I use? It's very simple. I always use Mobil 1. I've been a Mobil 1 guy for as long as I can remember. With all my cars, I've tested other oils. I've always liked Mobil 1, but oil is kind of one of those things. It's just like personal preference. I can't say one oil is better than the other. I've just always had good luck with Mobil 1, and that's the oil I use. Secret, I use Mobil 1 and a Honda filter. The Honda filter, that's a big thing. I tell everybody, run. It doesn't have to be Honda. OEM filter. The OEM filters, the check valves that they, or the bypass valve that they have in them. I think it's called the bleed down valve. They're just more superior from the manufacturer than they are any aftermarket or OEM ones. I've seen motors blow up because of aftermarket oil filters, just because they allowed the oil to bleed down. So on startup, there was no oil pressure, or there was no oil in the filter at all, causing air to what's the word I'm looking for? To basically, like it's like an aeration effect. It sent air instead of oil, and it just like it pounded the bearings and caused the motor to start knocking. So Honda filter, OEM filter. That's my tip. Mobil 1 530 Honda filter. Here's the part number I use. I use the AO2. These guys right here, never done me wrong. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it. So pretty much all those tips I gave you, going over the car, we're pretty much ready for the dyno tomorrow, and I'm excited, a little anxious pretty much, because even though I told you guys like I'm done, it's the tune that's the problem. There's still just a part of me that I need like the data. I need the why, and that's how I've always been. I need to know why it's the tune. So I'm sure whenever we get to the tune tomorrow, obviously we're gonna make a video about it, and I'm gonna see if I can give you guys the info as to why all this is happening. I have some ideas, but until I hear this car idle normal, I'm still just gonna be a little anxious. But we'll leave that for tomorrow's video. I'm gonna try to upload this literally right now, Friday night. Put in the comments what you think this car is gonna do. Not first pass. Let's just go straight final numbers. What's the final number you think this is gonna do? It is same motor setup, just the big intake, the throttle body, the bigger velocity stack right there, and we're still on pump 93. So drop in the comments what you think it's going to do, and make sure you tune in for tomorrow's video, which won't be for you guys tomorrow. It'll be, I don't know, whenever I upload that. So just tune in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay motivated and keep making those streets louder.